NFR.
NFR Extra is a podcast dedicated to the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo and features icons and personalities that embody the Western lifestyle.
Surprisingly, I had way more fun than I thought I was going to because I'm a very competitive person, and I was thinking that, oh my gosh, I'm going to be in competition mode for 9 days straight. Luckily, the Miss Rodeo America board tries so hard at making it a fun time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they don't want you to feel like you are under this immense pressure of the contest the whole 9 days. And because of the atmosphere and the environment that they were able to create for us, I was really able, and because of God's peace for sure, He was able to calm me, and I was able to have so much fun and make so many memories throughout those 9 days.
This is Pro Rodeo announcer Andy Seiler, and you are listening to NFR Extra. We are joined by Callie Mueller, Miss Rodeo America. And Callie, for the people that are listening to the podcast that may not understand the entire competition, how it's laid out, where it starts, and I know every state might be a little different on how they run, you know, Miss Rodeo New Mexico, Miss Rodeo Texas, Miss Rodeo Colorado, and how they run their competition. But can you just take us through the steps in the state level and then going to win Miss Rodeo America?
Yes, of course. Every state is different, like you said, and that means that every state has their different amount of days that they are going to have their contest at the state level. As Miss Rodeo South Dakota, we had about 2.5 days, so it wasn't overly strenuous, but I know other states have 5-6 day contests. They can have preliminary contests, and there can be a lot of different things that go into it. But as you continue on into Miss Rodeo America, they really try to stimulate what your job is going to be during the pageant, as in like cramming into 9 days.
Right.
So that means all day, low sleep, stress factors, quick changes, and turnaround and surprise, we're going to have you do this now. And that is exactly what your year is all made up of.
Okay, so before winning Miss Rodeo South Dakota, what was the queen life, if that's, sorry for the air quotes, but what other positions did you hold before you were Miss Rodeo South Dakota?
So I started a little later in my rodeo queen journey in 2019 as a freshman in college. I was the Jackrabbit Stampede ambassador.
I still think that's one of the best college mascots anywhere.
Yeah, it's super fun. So I represented the South Dakota State University rodeo team at the collegiate level. And then I was super blessed to represent rodeos across the state of South Dakota. And that was really my goal. Like, I wanted to be well known in rodeos across my state, make good connections before I would continue on of my goal of being Miss Rodeo South Dakota. Because I wanted to go back and be like, hey guys, remember me when I represented you? And we had a great year together, and now I'm back. And it all worked out. And I was continued on into 2020, Miss Black Hills Roundup, Miss Corn Palace Stampede, Miss Days of 76, Miss Watertown Rodeo, and then Miss Rodeo South Dakota. So ever since 2019, I have not had a year off.
You've been checking some serious boxes.
Yeah.
I mean, those are marquee events too. I mean, Belle Fourche is, that's where I'm at over the 4th of July, and that's a great place to be on the 4th.
Well, I will see you there.
Excellent.
That will be super fun.
Excellent. So after going from South Dakota and coming out here to Vegas for the MRA competition, take us through those 9 days.
I am going to be very honest. Those days are long and hard and strenuous, but luckily the Miss Rodeo America board tries so hard at making it a fun time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they don't want you to feel like you are under this immense pressure of the contest the whole 9 days. Surprisingly, I had way more fun than I thought I was going to because I'm a very competitive person, and I was thinking that, oh my gosh, I'm going to be in competition mode for 9 days straight. I'm going to have adrenaline. I'm going to have low sleep. I'm going to be so competitive that I hope I can still have fun and really remember the memories that I'm able to make there. And because of the atmosphere and the environment that they were able to create for us, I was really able, and because of God's peace for sure, He was able to calm me, and I was able to have so much fun and make so many memories throughout those 9 days.
So day one, what happens?
Day one was a half a day, and that was added this year. We checked in, and we had introductions with the Miss Rodeo America board, the chaperones, and then we moved into our rooms. We tried on our clothes for the fashion show, and then we had a little contestant supper, and everything was kind of relaxed that day, so that was really beneficial, that add. The second day, we went into contestant introductions. That's the first time that the public got to see us on stage answering questions about ourselves that were based off of our resumes that we submitted. And then the judges got to meet us for the first time. And we also took our test that day, I believe. You're really testing my memory here.
Well, I just the other thing too that I'm fascinated about because when you see cowboys and cowgirls at autograph sessions, more often than not, they are dressed up. But there may be a time where you bump into a competitor and they're in a polo or a pullover or something. Right. I don't know that I've ever seen any, not just Miss Rodeo America, but any of the other state queens during the NFR that are just, oh, well, she's out in a t-shirt. Like you
Casual
guys.
attire.
Yeah. I mean, you guys are always in queen attire all the time.
Yes.
And with the preparation and all that takes, my wife hates that I can get ready in 15 minutes, but I don't, there's no way to do what you guys do just at the snap of a finger. So I'm very impressed that you guys are dressed to impress the entire time.
Yeah, it's really just part of the job. And being a rodeo queen for a couple years under my belt really set me up for that mindset of, this is just what you do. This is how you dress to go to work, is being in full queen attire, full hair, full makeup all the time. And of course, there are times where if it's super humid or going to rain, you can pop your hair into a braid and you can get away with it then. Sure. But most of the time, it is that queen attire that takes 2 hours to get ready.
That was my next question.
Every morning. Oh. So imagine doing that for 9 days.
There are times when it's good to have a receding hairline. Not you, me. Yeah. I mean, right. You just hit a 2-guard and go on.
Now, what does the hair routine like? I feel like the wings change dramatically from year to year, and that's always like a random conversation for us. Is there like a 10 minutes only? Have you got it down to a science since you have so many years under your belt? Like, what's that time frame look like?
I have really trained my hair, and I actually just made a little wing tutorial. So if there's any queens out there wondering how I do my wings, hop on the Miss Rodeo America social media. Little plug for myself.
There you go.
But it really has taken so much time to master, and people look at me like, your wings are perfect every day. And in my eyes, they're not perfect every single day because I am a perfectionist and I want it to be identical. And you just have to realize that nobody's wings are going to be the same. Everybody's hair has their own little personality, and they are sisters and not twins is what we like to tell everybody.
Okay, I like that.
You can't, like, one side of your head usually has more hair than the other. And for me, my left side of my head is fuller with hair than my right. And that changes the wings just a little bit. But I have, this certain styling volumizing powder that I use, 2 teasing combs to mix match that, and a routine down with, I have to have a flat iron and a curling iron at all times with me, because if I try to do my wings with just the curling iron to straighten and curl it back, it just doesn't work.
It's not going to happen.
No, not going to happen. They're a little fried, but
gotta get that extra heat on there and just.
I try to use like 3 different heat protectants. So I've been trying, but really my hair's been through it the last 7 years.
So you're traveling with that much. What does your travel look like? Is there one giant checked bag? How does that look for
Oh,
you?
I live out of 3 suitcases.
3?
Yes. I am not a light packer. Nobody wants my packing advice. Like my best advice is if you don't unpack, you're halfway packed for the next trip.
Great advice, actually.
It really is what my advice is. So nobody wants to ask me any more questions.
Just buy 2 of everything.
How do
Right.
you physically carry all of that? I mean, that's because I'm just thinking logistics. You got, obviously your hat and your outfits and all that, but like I know how heavy a pair of chaps is, and it's not.
They are heavy.
Yeah.
So I put my chaps and try to squeeze my autograph sheets if I can into my carry-on because that doesn't get weighed. But otherwise, you only have 50 pounds, which those big suitcases, I have no problem filling it up with space, but it's the weight every single time. And I have to have a little weight scale so I can check it so I'm not caught at the airport and having to dig through my bags. And I have had to do that once. Only once this year, though. Pretty proud of
pretty good.
myself. Halfway
Halfway
through. That's an accomplishment, I feel like.
agree.
Packing is just not my strong suit. But I have my 2 big bags and then my carry-on. And then I actually have a hat backpack that I can smush oh, that sounds so bad. Sorry, Resist All people. Do not listen to this. I put 3 hats in there and wear one, and I can get 4 hats total.
So how many
good,
hats
actually.
do you have?
This trip, I only have 3.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty
So
proud
it's
of
not
myself.
Total.
smushed.
Total.
Oh, total?
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to take a while to count. I just got,
Ballpark.
well, I had 12 hats last year, around 12, 13, and now I have a lot from Resist All. So
One of every
I have
color.
definitely in the 20s.
Wow.
For sure.
Wow.
Yeah, my poor parents' house is exploding at the seams.
All right. Before we get back to the crowning moment and the top 5 and all that, what is your favorite Miss Rodeo America accessory? So once you win, you get all these different things because I love a great pair of chaps. So like that would be one thing to me, and I'm sure you have multiple pairs. It's not just one, right?
Yeah, I
so-
have 2 perpetual ones that I do not get to keep, but I get to wear all year. And then I have 2 pairs of chaps that I got to design myself. Oh man, that's such a hard question.
So your favorite accessory?
Honestly, I will have to go back to the chaps as well because you can always say jewelry.
Mm-hmm.
I love wearing Montana silversmiths, Landstroms. The crown is gorgeous, but the chaps is something that really can tell a story.
Sure.
And my both pairs have very sentimental, connections to different things. But I'm gonna talk specifically about the red pair of chaps made by Strawberry Roan Leather Mercantile, and she did an amazing job bringing in the roses, which are actually our national flower.
Okay.
And then I took it to a red rose, had a red base with connections into one of my good friends who was Miss Rodeo North Dakota last year with me, because she had a pair of red chaps and it was like our thing to wear red hats and together and everything. And then I have really special connections of the little patriotism from my home state of Mount Rushmore being tooled in on one side, and then the other side is a bald eagle soaring over the United States outline. And then hidden inside of a yoke is a number 6, representing myself as the 6th girl from South Dakota to win Miss Rodeo America.
That's awesome.
And then on the very back strap is my platform, Faith Over Fear.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. And it's awesome that they give you some freedom to really kind of tie it all together and literally make it your own.
It is, because when you hear those stories and those connections, like I grabbed the idea of putting the number into my chaps and the tooling from Jordan Tierney, who put a number 5 on her chaps because she was the 5th from South Dakota to win. And just carrying on little traditions like that and having sentimental pieces is really special to have with you when you're traveling.
Let's take a quick pause, and we'll be right back. Las Vegas becomes the center of the Western universe every December with the return of the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. And, of course, Cowboy Christmas presented by Pro Fantasy Rodeo. It's the perfect way to spend your day with family and friends. There's endless shopping, entertainment on the Ariat Rodeo live stage, the Yeti Junior NFR, contestant autograph sessions, and all-day fun. There's so much and more in Las Vegas. Cowboy Christmas, presented by Pro Fantasy Rodeo. It's all here. All right, so we've skipped days 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So when they announced the final 5, that's got to be a very tense moment for everyone.
It was. Honestly, when they announced the top 5, we were rushed off to one side of the stage. Everybody else had to go to the other side, and we were very secluded. And that's when they take off your sashes, your crowns. They put you in a separate room. You can't hear what the question is on stage and all of this stuff. And I got the question. I went out there and I answered it. I came back. We all go back out on stage. And I was still like, I'm secluded off to the side with the top 5. But in my head, I was like, oh my gosh, did I still make top 5? Like, it was just like an anxiety thing. Is this real? Like, did I actually do it? Like, are they going to call somebody else once, like, they get up to the top 5 people? Like, what if I'm not actually in it? And yeah, it was just so surreal.
I feel like we skipped over the Faith Over Fear platform. Tell us a little bit about that platform, because I think that's one of the most unique parts about Miss Rodeo America is that each individual has a different version of some sort of platform. Tell us about yours.
Yeah. Mine is super sentimental, very special to me. A fun fact is that I have always had Faith Over Fear as my platform as a rodeo queen. It comes from my best friend who was diagnosed with cancer our senior year of high school. So she was diagnosed a few days after my birthday, and she's a very religious cowgirl as well. So her platform and like her saying during her battle with cancer was Faith Over Fear. And they had shirts made and all of this stuff. And she truly lived up to that. I look back at the time she was in the hospital, and we were looking at cards from elementary students, and I started crying. And she's the one sitting in the hospital bed who has lost her hair with IVs, and she comforted me. She said, Callie, everything is going to be okay no matter what happens. And she knew exactly what she was talking about, no matter if she beats cancer or if she joins our Lord and Savior. And unfortunately, her time here on earth had ended 3 months after she was diagnosed to the date. And it came to a point where I really had to be realistic with myself that I needed to be living with Faith Over Fear every single day of my life. I grew up in a religious household. I had always talked to God and knew He was there for me and supportive and has this path and journey, but it didn't quite hit me that I needed to be relying on Him all the time and truly living with that Faith Over Fear mindset until I was hit with that devastating loss as a senior in high school. So once I started rodeo queening, I found out that there's a platform that rodeo queens often share, something that is very special and important to them. And I decided that Faith Over Fear had to be mine. So of course, I'm very close with her family, and I asked if that could be my platform, and it felt like something that we could still do together. So that's exactly what I did with their blessing. And Faith Over Fear is something I write on every single autograph sheet ever since. So, and last year, the icing on the cake to that story is that I am a published author, and I wrote a book called Faith Over Fear. And that talks about my story on how I had to, really truly put faith over fear. And it led me into the position that I am today.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
I feel like she just one-upped us so quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I
Just
don't.
saw a mic drop with I published a book.
That was outstanding.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
So now fast forward from the top 5 to the moment when they call your name out. Like, do you remember it, or do you feel like it was an out-of-body experience?
I don't quite remember everything. I remember glimpses and pieces, parts of it. I remember that they kept calling other states, and I was like, oh, take another step forward, I guess. I'm still here, I guess. And then I looked at Ashlyn, Miss Rodeo, Texas, and she was like all giddy. She was like smiling so big. And I was like, oh my gosh, I think it's one of us. And I was just having that realization. And I said a little prayer actually before, and I was like, dear Lord, just please help me accept whatever you have planned for me in the best that I can. So I just like really let it go and gave it to God, because that's ultimately all that you can do at that point. And then they called Miss Rodeo Texas as first runner up, and I was very shocked. So I was surprised and super excited. And I remember looking at Emma right before she was going to crown me, and I said, is this real?
Am I dreaming, pinch me?
Yeah.
That's amazing. So we do have a lot of parents, and there are some kids that listen to our podcast, so most episodes. What advice do you give to queen moms, future queens, families that may want to get into this?
My advice always goes back to faith over fear. And it can stumble at either way that suits you best, whether you take it on a religious standpoint like I do, or you could take it on a personal standpoint. Having faith in yourself over the fear of the unknown, fear of not being able to reach your goal that first time, or having faith that, God will direct you and he will guide you because he has a plan for you, and knowing that and being so comfortable and confident in that even when things shake you up, you don't get weary because you know that his plan is going to be better than yours. So ultimately, that's my advice. And if you are looking to get into the rodeo queen industry, don't be afraid to, reach out to people around you, because there are so many people that want to share their knowledge or, resort you to another resource as well. And there's so many queen clinics and coaches that are coming up, and they are all great resources.
What's next? So December, you make your final lap, you crown the next Miss Rodeo America. What then?
Oh, that just made me a little sad.
No, I
know.
I think it's awesome because you look and what you told us. I mean, this has been a large part of your life for 5 or 6 years now, and this year it's all rodeo queen. I mean, you are the biggest rodeo queen.
Yeah.
So stature wise, right? With the crown. But I'm
I'll
always
forgive you for that. No, it's all good.
No, I love hearing what the next step is, because it's important to think about, because you're going to wake up one day and it's over.
It's going to be over.
Yeah.
That's very true. I am certified to be a teacher in elementary and special education. I graduated in 2023 from Dakota State University, and I have aspirations to go on to get my master's degree in either educational leadership or educational psychology. So I look forward to that, but I also am really excited to see what doors can open up because of this year. There have been Miss Rodeo Americas that have been on the Cowboy Channel, work for Wrangler, work for Montana Silversmiths and the AQHA. So I'm really looking forward to what opportunities in the Western industry that I can continue to give back to after this year.
I still think it'd be really cool, though, if the principal of your school was Miss Rodeo America.
That would be kind of cool.
Well, Callie, thank you so much for your time. This has been a joy, and we're so proud that you're representing the rodeo industry the way that you do.
Well, thank you so much. I enjoy it, and thank you so much for having me.
Want to experience more of the NFR? Then visit nfrexperience.com, and we invite you to subscribe to NFR Extra on Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and wherever you're listening right now. If you like what you've heard on NFR Extra, we would love it if you gave us a 5-star rating and tell your friends how to subscribe.